Okay, so it's about 6:30 in the morning in Alaska, and a little while ago, Mitch Seavey pulled into Galena. He's first musher to get there. Your Olsom should be there soon, like in the next few minutes, if he's not there already. The tracker shows him very, very close. There are 5 other teams between Ruby and Galena. And there are a lot of people resting up in Galena or on their way from Tanana. The Red Lantern, current Red Lantern, is rookie Roger Lee. He has left Tanana too. So everybody's on the trail. Mushers are reporting between Tanana and Ruby that the snow is pretty punchy. And what that means is that the snow doesn't support the weight of the traveler. So the dog's feet punch through the snow. So slow going for a lot of teams, but I'm guessing that it must be better past Ruby because Mitch Seavey made some great time. I think his average speed was around 9 miles an hour. Now he's still got 16 dogs unharnessed too, so that's a big deal. Although reports are that he is rotating out the same way Dallas is. So if I imagine he had all of them on the line, though, to make that kind of speed, or at least 14, maybe 2 resting. So, Mitch is first to Galena. Last night, right before I went to bed, Wade Mars made it into Ruby. He was the first musher to Ruby, won an award for that, the Spirit of Alaska Award, I think. And that's its own little award. And the people of Ruby also gave him a really pretty little dream catcher. This is a pretty common little thing that a lot of these towns that are stops along the Iditarod, they don't see much outside of their local people year round. So being on the Iditarod Trail is a big deal for them. And they often have little local prizes for the first musher to make it there. One year, Allie Zirkle was given some homemade beaver skin mittens. They're really quite pretty. Nick Petit was the first first musher to make it to the Yukon at Tanana, so he got the official First to the Yukon award, but the city also gave him a hoodie and some other little things, which he really seemed like he was more excited about the hoodie than the money and the gourmet meal. He's kind of sweet like that, or at least he comes across in his videos as very, very sweet. So that's going on today. A handful of the mushers have taken their 8-hour mandatory rest. Of the ones that are already out of Ruby, only Hugh Neff and Ray Reddington have done so. But I expect, Dallas Seavey was second into Ruby and he hasn't left yet, so I imagine he's taking an 8. I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking an 8. I don't know about Allie yet. The last time they ran this trail, she didn't take her 8 until a little later up the road, so we'll see. We'll see. But a lot of the mushers who have been interviewed on the Iditarod Insider have suggested that they're looking to take their 24 in Galena. Now, I've noticed that a lot of the mushers are taking their 8-hour mandatory before their 24-hour mandatory. So that's most of them in previous years have taken the 24 first. So I don't know what's going on with the snow. Or with the new trail. I went back and looked at the archives for 2015, the last time they ran out of Fairbanks, and they were still mostly taking their 24 first. So I'm guessing that a lot of the veteran mushers learned something taking the trail 2 years ago out of Fairbanks that made them want to take their 8-hour before their 24-hour this time around. So I don't know. I'm just some gal in Missouri who loves mushing, so here we go. The real big news overnight was that Linwood Fiedler's team came into Ruby without him. They just came trotting on in without him. Apparently, he fell asleep and fell off the sled, which actually it happens. It's happens probably a lot more than you would realize. This is wilderness adventure racing. This is not for the faint of heart. You have to know your dogs, and even then, the mushers, almost every one of them will tell you that the musher is the weak link. They get tired, they make bad decisions, that sort of thing, and it's especially common in the top ranks, in the first few flights, because they're in it to win. There are people who are doing it because, well, they're all doing it for the dogs. Most all of them are doing it for the dogs, especially the top teams. But when you have a chance to win, sometimes you might second guess yourself, rethink your strategy when you're out there. And you do have to make adjustments. You don't know if you're going to have punchy snow or a really hard trail. You don't know until you get out there and are doing it. So if you're real tired, you might make a bad decision. A few years ago, Brent Sass fell off of his sled during the Yukon Quest and suffered a concussion, which is why he wears a helmet now. But Linwood came in to Ruby about an hour later on foot, which suggests that he was very close to Ruby when he fell. So, I mean, it only took him an hour to walk to the checkpoint. There are provisions in the rules for a driverless team. Anybody can help catch the team, and as long as the driver or the musher gets a hold of them, he or she is allowed to continue on. But I've never heard of the team coming into the checkpoint without the driver, because the rules are about the one driver must complete the entire race with the same team, and that includes, according to the rules, checking in at all the checkpoints. So Fiedler checked in, but just an hour after his dogs did. So the race marshals might assess a penalty for that. We'll have to wait and see. I imagine he's going to take a bit of a rest and then make up his mind about whether or not he is going to continue on. But he wasn't automatically withdrawn, so I'm guessing the race marshal considers the way it was handled within the bounds of the rules. So we'll keep an eye on that for the rest of the day. It's supposed to be getting warmer now. The mushers were reporting temperatures 40 and 50 below. Allie Zirkle, who says she never gets cold, said she got cold. Dallas Seavey reported that his thermometer was reading at 49 below. Nick Petit says he doesn't have a thermometer other than his nose, so I'm not sure what his nose knows, but he did say it was pretty cold. So we'll see how they do through the day, and I'll check back in and update you later.